This is a Pat Fleming production, and it is brought to you by AccuStats, and it's being brought to you from the Simonis Aramuth Arena at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel. Our hosts for 4 years, we want to thank them for the hospitality. Also, a special thank you, of course, to our great partner in the industry, Diamond Billiard Products, for providing us with the world's greatest tables, best equipment ever. Thank you, Diamond, for all you've done to help put this event on. And also, we want to thank all of our great live audience and everybody that's been out there watching all week. Your support is what allows us to do this. Thank you all very, very much. Okay, we are in our last quarterfinal match to find out who's going to play Shane Van Boening in one of our semis tomorrow. So without any further delay, let's introduce them to you right now. Representing Finland, this gentleman is a multiple major champion. He holds 2 U.S. Open titles, and in 2014, he took his rightful place with the greats of the game by being inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame. He's sponsored by Mez Q's and Taum Tips and Chalk. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iceman, Hall of Famer, Mika Immonen. Thank you. His opponent, representing Austria. He is a 2-time and reigning world 9-ball champion, sponsored by Predator. Kindly welcome ALBIN OUSCHAN. All right, here we go. Your referee in charge of this match is Mr. Ed Ladawi. Your official timekeeper is John Baker. Now I have the honor to send it up to the commentary booth to the voice of AccuStats, Billy Incardona, and our very own Mosconi Cup captain, Double J, Jeremy Jones. Go ahead up there, guys.
Well, thank you, Kenny. And if that lag shows us anything what this match is going to bring us, it's going to be a close one. This is our final quarterfinal of the day, which will lead us into a Final Four for tomorrow. These two players, a 48-year-old Mika Immonen and a 31-year-old ALBIN OUSCHAN. OUSCHAN of Austria, and Mika, of course, a longtime resident of New York City, but of Finland. Should be one heck of a match here. Both guys, who was it? Was it ALBIN OUSCHAN yesterday that knocked out Josh Filler?
Yes, it was.
Right, Billy?
Yes, it was.
And he played one super solid match to do so. Of course, Mika, kind of like, you know, I hate to say old-timer because he stays in such great shape, but, I mean, out of the players that are left, you could say so, him and Dennis or Kulo maybe, who not the start he wanted there. But Mika, I've seen him for quite a time since pandemic is kind of like rang free as far as allowing some pool tournaments. He's played everything, Billy, and he's really trying to get back into that winner circle.
Well, he's real close to the winner circle right now, okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if he advanced in this match, but I don't believe he's the favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if he advanced here.
Yeah, none of us would, and you know, he was definitely a favorite in a few of his matches here, but as the tournament went along, you could say he's been an underdog in a few of them of late. So he's played both roles, but I would say, you know, this new kind of string of tournaments and real dedication is a new kind of ground for Mika. Not something he's probably had to deal with before, trying to get his game back. He's doing a pretty nice job. And OUSCHAN, of course, reigning world 9-ball champion. Here's a guy that most consider one of not only the best players in the world, but the guy that shows up a lot.
One thing good about where Mika is right now, he believes he belongs here.
Right.
Because he's been here so many times. He has a lot of experience. He's been in this position so many times. He's not going to have no jitters right here. He's going to really play solid pool. That's what I expect to see him do.
And I think one thing that kind of bodes well for Mika is when we got to the single elimination format. Now, tomorrow, whoever goes on to win, they're going to have to win 2 matches, a semifinal and a final. But the last few days, it's been kind of a one match a day for these guys.
Right.
Which I think, you know, is a bit more of an equalizer, I think, and gives Mika even a better chance. And not saying just trying to win one, it's just a matter of, we saw him on the 10 for the other night, and I talked to him afterwards, and he said some fatigue had set in after playing 4 or 5 really difficult matches.
Okay, this is a pretty funny position right here because he would like to go straight up the table, but he wants to stay away from the 9 with a slight inside English, but he doesn't want to end straight in on the 7. So therefore, it's a little touchy shot right here, Jeremy.
I like one rail still because when you come across like that, there's only one speed that gets you straight in. You either fall a hair short of straight in or like here you go past straight in.
But I like what he did there. He applied a little more left-hand angle. He's sending the cue ball toward the cushion, understanding that it would end up with a nice angle to cut the 7 back into the pocket, cross table with the cue ball.
Yeah, a little thick there, so he didn't get the bounce that he wanted off the rail. He wanted probably a hair more, but yeah, that was also to avoid the 9, that inside English he put on the 7.
So this first rack, his execution in this first rack leads me to believe he's quite comfortable.
Yeah, there's, of course, he's had a lot of deep runs without winning, but he's definitely a player that when he gets down in there, he has his fair share of wins. 2-time world 9-ball champion. Of course, we talked about it the other day. It runs in the family. Him and his sister.
Yep.
Now, a little different 2 months for Albin. He didn't make one of the early events that was really nice in Texas, but he made Vegas. Then he went on to the U.S. Open. Then he went back home. They had an event in his home country of Austria. And then he made the trip back here to the International. So if that tells you anything about what Pat Fleming does.
Well, it tells me this, he got a lot of frequent flyer miles.
Well, that too, yeah, that too. But, these guys really, truly love this arena. They always do. You can see why.
Okay, let's take a look at his break now. We know that Mika has a strong break. They go with the cut break because of the 3-point rule.
Now, I wouldn't say it was a model of consistency yesterday. Oh, wow, that was just like as
Boy,
good as you can hit them right there.
beautifully
Billy.
executed break. The balls just flew around the table, pocketing how many? 2 balls on the break?
Three.
3 balls on the break?
Yeah, and they didn't hesitate going in the hole, and I kind of feel like he was unlucky not to make 2 more.
And not only did he pocket 3 balls on the break, but they lined up very nicely for him. 2 balls straight in the corner. Oh, the 3 ball is gone. The 4 ball is laying in the side pocket. 5 ball, lower left-hand corner in front of that pocket.
Everything leads to each other. Really, this first shot here is screwing the cue ball back a little bit on the 2 to get to the 4 on the side. About the most difficult shot we'll probably see in the rack. Looks like he's in between draw and kind of stun. Oh,
Exactly
wow.
what he did.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, he should just draw it back maybe another 6 inches or so and keep that nice angle on the 5 to drop nicely on the other side of the table for the 7.
I think he cheats the pocket here, right? Yeah, I like that. Nice shot. Well, one thing you'll notice about that break, right? With our 3-point rule, anytime they're making the 1 on the side in the side, Billy, and they're getting, a complying break quickly, meaning they're getting balls crossing the head string quickly, there is no doubt. That's how they want to hit them.
Yeah.
They're really not wanting to have it like one ball, they're all kind of watching, is it going to get across? Is it going to get across? And so that'll tell you he hit them pretty much perfect.
He should just, no English at all. Just cut it in, no English. Come straight down the table. Not coming anywhere near any rail here.
And you can tell the table's broken in a little bit. Definitely the cushion's kind of grabbing the side spin a little bit more. I bet we see a crucial ball hang up. I hate to say it, but it's going to happen to somebody probably here in this match.
Yeah, once the table starts to wear a little bit, the pockets seem to tighten up. What went in maybe yesterday may not go in today.
That's right.
And maybe for sure not tomorrow.
That's right. As pressure mounts. We'll play 2 semifinals tomorrow. I believe we start at 2:30. Or no, maybe we start later, actually. I think it's 4, 6:30, and 9:30, maybe. We'll get you those times here before the match ends.
Last time Mika Immonen was at the table breaking the balls, he scratched. He can't afford to do that now. He already trails 2-0. So he has to make sure that he hits the one ball accurately.
And the thing is, you can have multiple scratches in a match, playing the cut break. Not only from kisses, but just like the last one, it was on him a little bit. Okay. I'll tell you what. Balls really seem like they're breaking nice right now. This table's changed at times and changed in the middle of the match.
He pocketed the one on the break. The 2 will be the ball he'll be playing for, but he doesn't seem to have a pocket with the 2. I don't believe the side pocket's available. Do you?
Well, look who's joined us. Jeanette Lee, the Black Widow Hall of Famer, has come in to not only sweat the action, but joined to see Kelly Fisher and Thorsten Holman getting inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame earlier, and Hall of Famer at the table right now. The real problem with this shot is the cue ball being pinned to the rail also, Billy. You can't really manipulate much with side spin or maybe a draw.
Right. He would like to attain the angle behind the 7 ball here.
Yeah, but it's a natural scratch.
Yeah, but being the cue ball being so closely positioned to the rail, he really can't dig underneath it with accuracy.
Yeah, and it wouldn't take much, really, for that shot to get there. But like you said, just being on that rail makes it touchy. He may just float anyways. Oh, nice shot.
That's going to be okay because he got down deeply enough to utilize the 7 as an interfering ball.
I think he's left him a piece of this ball, at least.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
You know what? You have those uncanny eyes. You can see everything, and I'm so envious.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I've recently invested in a few pairs of readers, but yeah, with the long stuff, I'm pretty good, and so is this guy. Just like I talked about him or Mario, he is countryman. So solid with the cue ball, so smart percentage-wise, but also can come with the shot, which is a telltale sign of a great player. You know that.
There's a lot of quality players in the world today, and this man ranks for sure in the top 2 or 3 players in the world.
Well, that's some pretty powerful words. Trying to not get the kiss. Oh, not bad.
No, not at all.
But he also knew if he missed it, he was kind of creeping the cue ball down towards that in rail. And, when your opponent, hasn't got to shoot really pocket balls, you weighing on them and keeping it really tough.
No, he would like to position the cue ball behind the 5 on the other end of the table. That requires a pretty thin hit on the 2. He doesn't want to hit it too thin and run into the 9.
Well, he's going to move the 2 pretty decent, so I wouldn't threaten the 9 myself. In fact, he's gone. Well, it's close. He can definitely get at the 2.
That's pretty unlucky to have left the cue ball right where it is now, looking at that gap between the 5 and the 9 to the 2. There wasn't much area there to
yeah,
look at that
I wouldn't
gap.
call that an error for sure.
No,
that's
absolutely not. I'd call that tough luck.
He's either swerving this. Now, when they swerve this, they make it a lot more often than you think. They just get a good feel. Oh, what a nice shot. This guy's got all the shots, Billy. And that's just, like I said earlier, doing your best to keep it tough on your opponent.
Well, he hasn't left Mika the ability to contact the 2. He's going to have to kick here. I don't know if I don't believe the 4 is cut off that side rail, that 2 rail kick.
No, it's nice. He can definitely get at it. The 2 railer looks more controllable to me than the jump. And he's going to go to the jump. This is surprising, Billy.
Yeah, because he only has half of a ball to hit on the jump, which complicates this particular method of shooting a lot more difficult.
Not only that, Mika is a lot better kicker than I think maybe he gives himself credit or some others give him credit. I think he makes a nice hit on that 2 railer right there.
But he would have had to hit the 2 ball thickly, sending it up table or at least toward the side.
Well, you never know. If you hit it on the thin side, maybe the cue ball runs up table.
But there's not much coverage there.
Right. But I kind of almost feel, you're going to have to come with some of those kicks to win.
Absolutely.
Is my point.
Absolutely.
Don't just fear the hit,
That's
and say to yourself, "Oh, I got to hit this," and take the worst shot.
Mm-hmm.
At this level, you're going to have to kick out of things. That's usually how it goes, anyways.
Nicely struck and very confident player because not too many players opt to bank that ball because he had no cover, no protection, and he missed it.
Not only that, with that light medium speed as well. A lot of them, when they decide to shoot at it, they're probably going to put a little more on it. So I haven't seen all the matches today, but I've seen a lot. And this guy looks as comfortable as any player to start.
Yeah, he would like to stay in front of the 9 here. He's go down table.
Oh, he's perfect. You can get a little closer to the 5 as well. Talked about it before. Albin, a very left-eye dominant player for a right-hander. See, the cue really lays underneath the left eye. Not too uncommon, really. But his is, a little more like mine's that way as well. But watch how much underneath the left eye, Billy.
He would like to hit high on the side rail, not by the side, leaving himself a nice angle on the 8 to cut it slightly to his right. That's the proper side on the 8 to be on with this particular layout.
Which I get involved with the angle, of course, but you notice how what he did, he stayed aggressive coming close to the ball. That's what I like about the shot as well. I mean, the angle does mean something, but in my eyes, you don't want to get severe angle either way. You don't want to make it a missable ball. And if you come 2 rails close at the ball, you're going to be pretty accurate drawing either side of the 9.
Exactly. Oh, that's game number 3, Jeremy, and Ocean has won all 3 games played so far, and now he'll be at the table opening up the balls in game number 4.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how well he breaks in game 4 because it was picture perfect in game number 2. That would be something hard to fade. I don't know if you noticed, but he had a ball on every shot on the table after the break in rack number 2.
And the way he broke the balls, the usage, you said that that's the way to break them. The way he broke them, not only did he break them well, but he pocketed 3 balls on the break.
Yeah, and no question, not only because of balls pocketed, but the carry on the object balls around the table. There was really no worry as far as complying on the break. Got a very, very full hit on the 9 coming back across the rack. Like that.
Again.
Yeah.
Once again. And once again, he broke them very nice.
Yeah, but you notice how quickly he complied on the break as far as balls coming up table. I mean, that's a telltale sign of hitting the balls exactly how you want. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be a tough guy to beat.
Yes, he is. Now, this shot carries a lot of distance, but in this instance, distance isn't that bad because he has to travel way back up table for position on the 3. Therefore, the distance that he has, of course, it's not really good to have this kind of distance, but it's not that bad because of the position he needs to have on the 3.
Yeah, he just took a nice full deep breath. He's going to attack here, and as Billy said, he needs to go the other side anyway, so good chance of making it. I'd like to bet on him. And a little safety, maybe. Well,
I think he's going to end up giving him a shot here. I don't know. I don't know how much of the 2 ball that he can see.
2 goes by the 5 anyways.
Yeah, I don't know if the 2 goes by the 5. That's going to be close as well.
He's going to have to kind of feather the 2, it looks like, by the 5 a little and try and drop the cue ball behind the 7. It's really touchy.
Yeah, not much interfering balls available to put behind.
No, and, this is where I kind of like to say you got to use your talent, your touch. Oh, he's elevating. So he feels like he needs to bring the cue ball back. Oh, what a shot.
Go ahead now.
Whoa,
Go ahead now.
Shot.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty, well, you might say ballsy shot.
Well, that's kind of reminded me of his first World 9-Ball Championship win. I commented, I think this week when he played a match on the 10-footer, but he long rail banked 3 or 4 key shots in to go on to win that title. And what he did with it is he ran a bunch of racks behind it every time he banked what I'm in. But that's not going to happen because we're playing alternate break. But what a sharp shot to get the Iceman started.
Yeah, but you gotta like his mentality there. He's going after it, and there's a lot to be said when you go after things. You don't wait on it. Keep waiting on things. They may never show up, but if you go after things, for some reason you're able to get them more often.
Well, that was definitely his MO. He was one of the guys that could take a match over. And I'll be honest with you, if you look at a guy he's playing, I don't know if anybody really kicks much better than him either, right? He seems like that match he played yesterday against Filler.
Yeah.
Every time he kicked across the ball perfectly, really didn't leave a whole lot that made you want to play safe if you were playing him, Billy.
Tough shot coming up. He's a little hampered with the 7.
Oh, watch out. It's got to slow down a little bit.
That's okay.
No, he did great there.
Yeah. His rack number 4, Jeremy. Looking to get on the board finally.
And breaking in the next.
Taking his time here. Okay. Here we go.
Turn it a little louder.
Somebody's cell phone went off. There you go, and breaking in game number 5, Mika Immonen gets on the board.
And now he'll be back at the table breaking the balls too.
Yeah, and broke pretty well in the first, in his first 2 breaks. They weren't terrible or anything, just didn't come away with any kind of shot that would, let him continue. I think he probably, if he hits them well here after that bank on the 2 and that nice clearance, he probably comes away with a shot, I kind of feel.
Another thing about that bank on the, I believe it was a 2 ball, okay? That really is the type of a shot that your confidence level just shoots up if you happen to put it down, because you're just confirming it to yourself. I'm here to play, and I know I can do this.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he ain't got to shoot many balls either, Billy. So, something about that bank shot as well. You get to feel that nice stroke. It's something you need to feel, something you need to repeat to win these matches. And, like I said, I think if he hits the rack well here, he comes away with a shot. Probably gets this score even closer. Now, interesting, they're both breaking from opposite sides of the box.
Watch the 2 ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed to be quite common. A lot of these players, when they cut break, the cue ball goes one cushion toward the side. And you really have to stay away from that. You have to figure out a technique or a method to stay away from that one rail cross side.
Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, it's almost like all right, he's breaking from the right? So say you're cutting a ball to the left, okay, just any shot, you're cutting it to the left. Well, as much as you tell yourself to hit straight low, it's very easy to put right on that and throw that cut shot.
When you cut to the left, it's easier to put right on it.
Exactly. Okay, same thing here with this break. A lot of these guys aren't wanting that side spin that's accidentally getting put on there. So when they come through and they're cutting that one to the left, just like a normal shot, they're just putting a hint of right on there and catching that cue ball to check towards the side.
Maybe they should be more conscious of putting the other English on it, half a tip.
Yeah, but that would actually not work against it. I think you would whiff the one. You'd really lose control. It's just a matter, like I said, making sure you're not putting that little hint of outside English on the break. Watch Albin. His will come straight across the spot more often. That's why he'll get the collision on the 9.
And that's the type of a method on breaking the balls you want. You want to go cross the foot spot.
Right.
Cross the foot spot, not high, like Immonen did. Because you may have to get the same results Immonen got, and that's not good.
And I also think there's a hair different hit of the 1 going on. I don't know if you notice. They spread pretty decent. He made the 1 on the break. I'm not sure he even complied. I know the 5 ball crossed, but I'm not sure there was another ball that crossed the head string. So not only a bit of spin, but maybe a bit of a different hit on the 1.
Watch out! Watch out! Fortunate to have walked into a shot there after contacting the 9.
Yeah, just a little light stun. You want to draw this, I mean, I don't say draw, but broaden the angle here a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's really looking at here.
Well,
Is
he's
he too
got-
straight?
He's got the angle, I think, that he can go to the side rail and then toward the 8.
Yeah. Replace the 6 with the cue ball is what I say. Maybe come a little bit further back.
Yeah, that would be the safe way to play the shot.
Yeah, like that. Replace
Exactly.
the 6 with the cue ball, yeah.
Right.
No risk here. I mean, this is too much of an easy shot, and no reason to try and make it even easier.
Yeah, just a slight bit of English, but most importantly, the right speed.
I'll tell you, Mika knows as well as we do, he cannot afford mistakes against this guy.
He scratched on the break twice now. Ocean, on the other hand, has been breaking him superbly.
And now out 4-1 quickly. It feels quickly anyway, Billy. After
Yeah.
5 games, it does.
Yeah, well, he doesn't take much time running out.
Yeah, he's a guy you can learn a lot of things from. It's like he's not really fast. He's not really slow. There's a lot of things that, one thing I tell people in their pool game is stay away from extremes. Don't hit the ball real light. Don't hit the ball real hard. Not too long of a bridge, not too short of a bridge. Same thing with your tempo. Not super slow, not super fast. And Albin kind of seems like he does a lot of that. He doesn't really have to get to the extremes very often.
Another thing I like about him is I love his demeanor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's so composed. He walks around that table. He sees nothing but the balls in the table. Nothing distracts him. He's really a very composed player.
I'll tell you something about he's a little bit of an introvert, and there's that solid hit on the 9 again. But look how quickly those 4 balls cross the head string right there, Billy.
Yeah, that's...
And you see what I'm saying? There's a totally different look and complexion to the 2 players' breaks. But Albin being a bit of an introvert, I think easy for, to do the best thing, which is kind of play the game by yourself when you're out there.
and that's what he's been doing.
That's right. Now he's cueing over the 4. With only the 4 being down here by the spot, I don't really consider the 9 a threat. I don't mind cutting this in and going into the 4, Billy, making sure nothing really bad happens with that side pocket. Now, he can cue it a little better than I thought.
Well, he's going to...
But if he's flirting going by the 4 to get to the rail and bringing in the side, it's not the end of the world if you bump the 4 here real heavy like and shoot the 3 from a little distance. I'm not saying he's going to do that or he's got to.
But he looks like he's naturally going to go above the 4. Oh, wow. He hit the side of it.
Yeah, wouldn't want to do that. Now it'd be a solid hit is what you want.
So therefore, like you said, if you feel that you're going to maybe brush the 4, you're better off hitting it solidly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that way you take the scratch out of the equation.
Yeah, and that's saying there's not much trouble down here. If there's other balls and stuff that you're worried about, maybe getting elevated over or something like that, that's different. But there's pretty bare down here at the racking end. And it's funny. You almost will remember a few things when it comes to Albin, like a little fortune here and there. Because he doesn't need it very often.
No. It's going to have to be fairly precise with this shot because of the position of not only the 5, but the 6 next to the 5 on the same level.
Yeah.
So therefore, he's going to have to end up with an angle to be able to hold the cue ball down that end of the table after pocketing the 5.
Well, especially with the 8 there, because he can't come up into a very much cutting position on the 6. So 2 rails hovering, coming right at the 5.
He wants to get down there far enough,
Perfect.
obviously not to get hooked.
He's perfect.
And matter of fact, that's where he had to be, exactly right there. Beautifully executed shot.
Yeah, and that made it to where queuing and, everything was very easy. He could have afforded being a little further away, but then he would have had to kill the cue ball or put some side spin. He put it in the prime position.
Right. And it's positions like that that really go unnoticed, how difficult it is to attain the correct angle to make the run out play simple. That's what he's done.
And his position play's been flawless. It seems like he's just made the same stroke on every shot.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you want. Now 5-1. So a lot of heat on Mika. He's not in uncharted waters, that's for sure.
No.
He won. Yeah.
He's been here so many times. He's faced adversity, and he seems like he's handled it quite well based off of the accomplishments that he's made.
Look at that, 977. Only one error, which I can't recall it at the moment. 43 balls pocketed.
977.
Yeah, 977.
That's super high.
Yeah, Mika, he won his first U.S. Open after actually losing a U.S. Open 11-0 against Corey Deuel in 2001. He came back to win it. And then the next year, he lost his first match. Now you see this 7 ball just barely in the 8. See, nothing's complying yet. See, no good, I think. Oh, the 8 crossed. Did the 8 cross? I guess it did. But you could see it's a sweater, right, Billy? In comparison to Albin's. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a significant difference.
Right. But anyways, I was saying, Mika came back after winning his U.S. Open to lose his first match, Hill, and then went through the one-loss side, win the U.S. Open back-to-back.
Excellent.
Yeah, all kinds of incredible U.S. Open stories and feats, but that's one of, in my mind, one of the biggest. Ooh, he's got a tough one-rail kick. He's got to go between the 4-6. Just give his best chance to go one rail and kick it in.
He should have a pretty good feel on the shot because he can hit the cue ball where he needs to hit it. So he's not going to be hampered.
And he's not too close to this bottom cushion, this first cushion he's going into. He's aiming.
He's playing it differently
here. Is
here.
he going 3 rails behind it?
Yeah,
he's aiming wide.
Yeah, he's going 2 rails at it.
2 rails?
Yeah, 2 rails at it.
Man, that brings the 6 and the 9.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was just
he
shortening.
drew the ball.
I tell you, look how they're rolling. You really get paid for nice hits.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating. I understand, Mika. It is frustrating. I've been there, and I know how frustrating it is when it happens to me. So
you just got to hang tough, right, Billy?
Well,
we
you have no choice.
Dennis Grabe is one the other night that things weren't going his way, and he was facing an opponent that was just playing perfect pool. Just have to wait to see what changes.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that it had to happen now, when you're this far advanced in the tournament.
Look at here. He's made another great shot.
All right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why you have to remain calm and focused and confident, whatever words you use, because no matter what situation you're left with, you got to be ready to pounce.
Yeah, you can't allow adversity to cloud your judgment, whether it be execution or just your thought process. You have to be able to remain composed.
Now these balls set up nicely. Looks like he's all right. He's going to check out the 6 in the side with the 7 hanging. I don't mind the side pocket with the 7 so easy. I stay away from sides if I really have to work the cue ball.
Excellent point. Center ball, maybe force it over a little bit if he can. Cheat the pocket. He's going back, it looks like. He's going up table for the 6. Nice speed.
I don't think he should be too upset about much.
Now, if he's got two too severe of an angle where he really can't go to the bottom rail and back straight up, and he can't draw it. Maybe he's better off playing the 7 in the corner.
No, he's full. I mean, I think what he was doing is just making sure, checking his work, making sure nothing silly happens. He gets it kind of really where he wants to make cue ball movement easy. He'll just kill this off the side rail and then the end rail and back up with a little right English, kind of overcutting the 7 to the pocket a little bit.
Always draw around it, too, with left.
No, he's going to go this way.
Okay.
He hit it too light, though.
It was thin.
Well, decent rollout. I kind of thought it was a bit shorter at first. He's got to just pay attention.
Well, he made his way through this rack, starting off with a real nice jump shot, and now he's going to close the gap to 5-2.
Yeah, he's made a great jump on a 2-ball and a long rail bank that was probably even better than the jump on a 2-ball to get the 2 games he has. So, but he's fighting, right?
Yeah, he sure is. And he's facing quite a bit of adversity, scratching 2 times on the break and having ocean kickballs where it turns out that he hooks Immonen. So therefore, there's a lot of things that aren't really going right at this point, but he's managing to work his way through it.
Yeah, and it's just been a couple of break shots, really. When he's got time at the table, there really hasn't been a problem. Well, real problem is that guy right there, ALBIN Ouschan, if you're Mika Immonen.
And his big break.
Yeah, he's hit him. Like I said, I'm really trying to pay attention what the differences are. I can hear the sound of them. The hit seems a little the same, maybe, but watch him draw straight across the 9. Oh, he got more on it. Watch out, cue ball. Now things are agreeing. The 2 came down. What's the 6 going to do? He's nice. He's got a gap. He's got an angle. Just switch one of the balls. Switch the 4 and the 6 and look at the run out in comparison to now. The 3's near the 4, the 5's over the pocket.
And, it's kind of frustrating.
Well, it's one of those days so far.
Yeah.
Repeat the word,
that's
so far.
That's a good way to look at it. So when you said so far.
Yeah. How many days start with some rain, end up being the most beautiful day of the week. But the problem is you can't expect much of a mistake from this guy. Which bodes, for all the players left, but like you said, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 in the world.
Now, let me ask you, how would you play position from the 4 to the 5? What angle would you choose to end up with here?
I stop my ball on the 3. 3's kind of straight. I really don't want to, complicate that.
So then you go forward.
How about that?
You can go forward and you can go back. Going back keeps you in line.
Back.
Well, going back will keep you in line.
Well, going back, I can be aggressive coming 2 rails at the ball. That's the key to coming back versus forward. Forward, you have to maintain the speed a little bit at least. You have to at least get there and then don't go too far.
Yeah, and going back keeps you on the right line for the position for 6 off the 5.
In fact, I'm surprised he's not closer to the 5. I talk about it like when you have good position, stay aggressive with the position, and usually ALBIN does. But he's fine still, don't get me wrong, but I've watched him play a lot. And he'll usually, when he has a chance to come at that ball, like I said, he'll be pretty aggressive doing so.
He's a little awkward here. He may have to play the 7 down the other corner.
Oh, that's fine.
So therefore, he has position to play the 7 down this corner. So I think he's going to choose that. No, he's has an angle. It looked like he didn't have an angle based off of his body language.
Yeah, and I think choosing that, whether, now it's an easier shot, it's gotten him in a more funny position now. That's something he couldn't predict getting here, but he's a little off angle. He draws, he may have to, take some distance.
Yeah, he may have to stop this.
He's following.
Oh, well,
This is a tight angle. Any mishit here could be a problem. See how he's kind of squeezed the 7 home?
Yeah. But you have to salute him for having the confidence to shoot that shot in the fashion that he did.
Yeah.
He understood the problems with that shot, but he knew he could handle it, and which he did.
Well, that's what makes that top 3 or 4 or 5 in the world you were talking about. It's similar to Dennis when we did a match of Dennis Orculo earlier in the week, where I commented that Dennis, what keeps him in stroke and getting him in stroke, really shooting what he thinks is the premium shot 90% of the time.
From what I've gathered watching these matches, watching all the different players playing in these matches, and I think you hit on the same thing I'm thinking about. I think he might be the favorite because
Ocean?
Yeah, because of how he's breaking the balls, and not only how he's breaking the balls, how effortlessly he's been running out.
Oh, yeah. Well, he has 981. We saw that a moment ago, your graphic. Immonen still 900. It's just been a couple of, losing the cue ball on a couple of breaks, really. Ooh, watch out, cue ball.
Watch out,
3. Ooh. Gonna get to see him come with another tough 2 ball. The good thing is the 3's hanging.
Yeah, well, that'll help some, but he's still got to hit this accurately, especially if he elevates slightly, which he's doing.
Yeah, no hesitation. He didn't even change cues, Billy. He shot that with his break cue. Wow.
This is interesting. The 4 does not pass the 8 into side. I don't believe so. Does it pass the 8 in the side?
I don't even. It's awfully tight, and the 5's a little covered up, so. Don't think it does. Maybe it squeezes by. I think you got to go for the 4-8 kiss shot. Looks like to me.
Yeah, it looks like can he hit the 3 directly and come up table for that slightly for that carry?
Yeah, he can draw the cue ball. He can play rail first. He's playing rail first, and it got away from him.
Oh no, he should have played rail first. He hit ball first.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's why it got away from him.
Okay, the camera fooled me then.
He plays rail first, and then it goes further to the left, deeper.
Wider.
Deeper,
Yeah.
yes.
Now he's in trouble.
Yeah.
He can
From here, he can play a 3 rail safety. Put him behind the 8.
He's going to shoot, Billy. He's going to try and cut the 4, go 1 rail into the 8. If he stops there, he's going to cut the 5. If he comes off the 8 a little backwards, he figures to maybe improve the shot on the 5.
I like the 4 rail safety on the pink if he can
I
get
get
it.
it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I think he's going to shoot. Trying to pocket the 4, go into the rail, into the 8, like that. Oh, he hit it sweet. Now, that's a real example of what I was talking about, the pocket tightening up as the days go, because he hit that ball pretty well.
He hit it well enough to have made it because that particular type of a shot has been hit a number of times on this table, and every time it's gone in. But that one didn't, which certainly affirms that the table is starting to tighten up.
He's really only got 1 kick shot coming below the 5. He's got to hit a little wide of the 5 and then straighten this out. He's got exactly what he needs, which is a little the left side of the cue ball. Good thing is he can hit this with a firm speed or a light speed. I would go firm, trying to get the cue ball to not only arc pretty well, but if I make the 4, maybe get position of some sort.
Yeah, that's the other part of the shot that's not really that appealing. If he pockets the 4, he doesn't figure to end up with a shot on the 5.
He may go super soft, just trying to make it and then play safe from where the 4's at.
That's also an option.
Ooh, awfully close.
All right, he didn't go deep enough with the cue ball.
Man, it was close, though. Pretty good effort. And Mika got a little bit of a roll, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, could have went in the 4, but
I kind of like putting the cue ball on the short rail and cutting the 5 to your right, drawing down for the 5.
he's going to beat the 8. Coming to 3 rails here.
Got to be careful though. Yeah, this way.
Yeah, this table's definitely changed a little bit. Look how the rails are starting to sharpen up a little bit. They're not spreading so much.
Now he's got to be fairly precise here. This is rack number 9. Trails by four 4 games. Afford any errors going forward because of the deficit he faces now. They're kind of like on the wrong side of the 8 slightly. You go around the table here.
Oh, no, not me, but I either go forward a little bit or across. I don't go around.
Okay.
I have to really, really have a lot of angle, maybe. Maybe if I'm dogging it a little bit, Billy.
Well, that's why I said you do go around the table.
All right, Iceman back on the board, 6-3. I believe it'll be Ocean to break now.
You know you're playing bad when you're watching a game and you're dogging it.
Right, the rack track. Ocean wins 5 out of the first 6. Now Mika's come with 2 out of 3 in game 7, 8, and 9.
And well, Mika's showing some heart here. I mean, he's shown some resiliency. He's had a lot of kind of like unfortunate things happen already.
Well,
But he's shown some resiliency, and he's kind of back in the game, trailing 6-3. But the problem is not only the score, it's how well this guy's playing and how well he's breaking.
yeah, and it doesn't, pressure. I know he feels nerves, but never seems to show it. But I'll tell you one thing about Mika, he's had to make 3 to kind of highlight shots just to get on the board. So he's shown a lot of heart. Right there, he broke and got pinned a long one on the 2-ball. He elevated the cue and stabbed it in. He long rail banked another 2-ball, jumped another 2-ball.
And the ball that he hung, he hit extremely well.
Yeah.
So therefore, that was a very well struck ball.
And you see the movement of those balls going up table. They don't take much time.
I don't know if the 8 cut off the pocket or not.
I think it did. I think it did. Yeah. Maybe a half a pocket there, Billy, but
Taking a look. It must be pretty close. He may have a half a pocket because he really took a good look at it.
trying to see here. Trying to look what's left of the cue ball a little bit here. What is it, a 7-ball down here? Or a ball down here above to the left? Quite see, it's the 9. Okay,
The
and it's
9.
kind of down a little bit. I was going to say you can maybe come off the right side of the 2. Let the 2 just kind of go into the 8 where it wants to go a little bit, but there's no real ball to bury him behind. I thought the 9 was up a little bit. Maybe he can come a couple rails and kill the cue ball behind the 9.
He could push here.
I think he's trying to overcut this, get it behind the 8 on the back rail.
Oh, that 3 comes into play.
Yeah, but if you spin it, if you don't mind spinning it. Oh, he was trying to make it.
Yeah, he was trying to make it, and he got a. You know what? Is as intelligent of a player that he is, and I believe he is. He knew that the carom would send that 2-ball to safety.
That's right. That's why the speed was so influenced into the shot, right?
So therefore, those of you out there to think he got a little fortunate with that, he knew that a slight carom off the 8 would send that 2-ball to a safe position on the table.
Yeah, a lot of us. I can't remember who told me that a long time ago, but something to the effect of we all pay attention to the makes, but what happens where the ball, when you miss a little bit, where does it go?
There you go. Therefore, if we start thinking under those in those terms, we'll improve our game.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, he's not going to think about it all the time, but a scenario here and there makes sense. You don't want to sit here and think about missing all the time. But when you have half a pocket from 8 feet away,
right? What happens?
Well, that makes sense.
Makes total sense. Want to send the cue ball behind the 6 here.
And the 2-ball behind
and the 2 behind the 3.
I thought that was his main emphasis. Like really kind of make sure the 2 gets funny over there by the 3. What's the 3 look like coming towards this 9-ball?
No,
Are you going to kick soft here?
I would think so. There's no future in kicking hard here.
No, I know, but you could skim it. You could try to skim this ball and get the safety and let the cue ball release just a little bit. Don't lay on it, just release a little bit. I think that's what he's trying to do, just barely nick the 2.
See, that's not too bad.
That's not terrible.
That's the advantage of kicking softly. You're going to leave your opponent possibly a weird angle or possibly close to the 2 like he's done.
Well, and you give him a chance to make a mistake. You know, I mean, he doesn't have to hit every one of these super nice. He
Yeah.
could just keep it simple and use the 3, which if he'd like to get behind the 9, but he's not going to take a chance. If he goes behind the 9, it's kind of easy. He went behind the 4. He's too smart. This guy's too smart here, Billy. Super nice. I think he's got to go with the jump cue.
Yeah.
If he can get at it.
He's got to go with the jump cue. He heard you. He's getting it out.
I mean, the long rail kick's not terrible. I mean, you're going to hit the 2 pretty nice, like you may kick it in by the 6 here. So I don't mind the kick either, but he's already made 1 big jump.
If the 2 is frozen, I like kicking softly.
Softly?
Yeah, because if you kick softly and you hit just to the outside of the 2, you're not going to leave anything, especially considering the 4 is down this end of the table. I wouldn't mind kicking softly
Well,
here.
the 3's right in the center of the table, though.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the 3. I can't even count. You go 2, 3, 4, right?
That's
Okay.
right. Blue, red, pink. I like the kick trying to make it in the corner or the jump myself. I mean, most likely he pulls this ball off the rail. That's just kind of how it sits, but he could hit it right on the numbers.
And it's okay if you hit it right on the numbers because you'll get separation then. Wait a second.
What I mean, he might hit it to where he makes it like right on the numbers, you know, like perfect.
Oh, okay.
Now 6-3 here, and Ocean at the table. Got a tricky little shot here. What might see him put a little more speed into this and try and kill it with inside, avoiding the 9. If he pulls this ball, he's got to be really accurate coming between the 4-5 and 5-6.
And the 6. You figure to run into the 6. He's
Right.
going with inside English here.
He wants to hit a little more speed, though, to avoid the 9, then check the cue ball. Like that. Nice shot. So good at that shot.
Yeah.
And look how good this speed is.
Seems like he's good on a lot of shots.
Just most shots he shoots, Billy. That's all.
Just most of them?
Yeah, most shots he shoots.
How do you define most? What do you say? What do you mean most? Like 2 out of 3?
All right, coming across, so he's got to get position, but don't get below it. Oh, man, cue ball's on a string tonight. I mean, a lot of people, it's easy to fall below that a little bit and make it very tricky to hold for the 5.
But that's really a no-no. So therefore, you have to be so conscious of not falling below that when you execute that type of a shot, you come up a little short at times.
Yeah, and you actually can get thin trying to make sure you don't get
Well,
below it.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and things become difficult that way as well.
Yeah. He would like to come up to center table. That would be a good spot for the cue ball.
He'll just check it with a hair right.
And now he would like to keep a nice angle on the 8. He doesn't want to go all the way down, hit that side rail and slightly off of it. And he's good.
About the head string, right, Billy? The middle
Yep,
diamond?
you got it. You really have to have great speed to shoot it like that. I like going into the second rail.
Yeah, but the one thing is he kind of trusts his speed. His stroke will get him there. I think sometimes he'll get a little more into it and get to the rail there. I don't think that was absolutely perfect from him, but one thing in today's equipment, Billy, you got to learn to trust the kind of coasting into position. It really is the right way. It's not like he babied the ball. He still stroked the ball.
I understand what you're saying. You got to be able to trust the ball.
roll of the ball.
Oh, but you got to be able to roll the ball there.
Well, what you're saying is get that guarantee a little early.
Sometimes it's not easy just to roll the ball there.
Yeah.
I think I have more margin for error and I have better speed hitting that second rail.
Yeah, the reference, right? Our break performance average, you can see Ocean batting 1,000. Immonen, I mean, the scratches have been the killers, but he's been successful making balls. He's gotten a few shots.
Immonen start to showing a little wear now. He's shaking his head. He's really not happy, and I don't blame him, but behind 7 games to 3. So it's starting to wear on him now. A little more emotion. He's talking, thinking to himself now. I can just see it.
All right, cue ball down here on the bottom rail, the 2 up the table.
Right.
He
And
digs.
it's just frozen.
Yeah, and he's on a scratch.
On a scratch angle.
What about the 9? The 9's in the way.
Well, I don't know if it is.
I mean, it's decent.
Yeah, I guess it is. But who wants this shot? I want to pass this shot, really.
Well, I'll tell you, coming from the rail, long distance used to be one of Mika's strengths over pretty much the entire world. Believe me, he used to roll out against me, and I had to pass it.
If he goes into the 9, he may not end up with a shot on the 3.
Oh, he's miscued. He may get behind the 9. No. So this is going to give up what looks like a very doable clearance for Albin.
I mean, the balls are laying so nicely on the table.
You know, just come 2 rails here out to the center of the table. Little high ball. Doesn't really need a whole lot of left. No reason to flirt. He's got plenty of room to move the cue ball off of 3, so if he gets just a hair thin, it's okay, but he's perfect.
Yeah, well, the 4 ball sitting in front of the pocket. Awfully nice to have that ability to control the speed of every shot so perfectly.
Yeah, well, that's just like I talked about earlier. He's really smart with the angles. And once you start to play the game where you feel like you're making the same stroke a lot, that's what I mentioned earlier. I kind of preach it that, you know, you're obviously not making the same stroke, but it feels like you're making the same stroke, and it certainly looks like he's making the same stroke a lot. And what happens is you get dialed into the angle that matches up with that stroke you like a little more and the one that makes sense. And so just everything becomes dialed in very, you know, as a unit very well. Even when he'd rather use the same stroke like right there and kill the cue ball versus try to run it a little bit. Same thing here with this back and forth. I think he comes 2 rails anyways.
Well, he's right there on the 50-yard line with this angle, it looks like. 2 rail going across, it's certainly.
Oh, he's light.
Yeah, but he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's close to it. Accuracy is at a premium.
And that's probably the main reason why 2 rails across table was probably the best way to shoot it, because you pick up on the accuracy with the hit, and also the 9 ball is so close to the pocket, you can afford to end up a little short. You don't want to, but you can afford, you have that luxury.
Yeah, he just, like I said, keeps making that nice, aggressive stroke.
It's a repetitious sort of a thing.
Sure.
You know, you can just feel it. You know, and you can just put that feel on a lot of shots and get the consistent results that you need to get.
Yeah, I kind of call it just your medium. You know, everyone should practice every day, I think, just using medium for a little while, and you'll be amazed at what it gets done.
And I remember when I was young playing my best pool, I can definitely relate to what you're saying, you know, because I hit a lot of balls, a lot of shots with different angles, with that speed, with that certain speed, because I was so confident in that particular speed. And that
you didn't fear moving the ball either.
Yeah, because it enables you to kill balls and do a lot of things.
Well, that's the difference, I say. You know, they always say center ball. But guess what? A lot of pros use English because we develop a stroke that allows it, first off. And you get to make the same stroke a lot, and you just move your tip position a little bit, like changing clubs in golf, in theory, you know, or like a baseball pitcher. He uses the same arm motion, but he just changes the grip of the baseball. Well, how good's he going to be if he keeps making the same stroke all the same time, same motion all the time?
And that's actually what makes the game play easy.
Exactly. Move the tip position out here. Now, don't go crazy with it when you don't need it, but I never was someone that really believed that you're just supposed to hit center ball all the time, then you're changing your stroke all the time. Now he's in another great position with a shot on the 2. This would be an interesting little play here. If he draws back into that gap, which offers the 3-4 combo a little better, or if he follows, which gives you a little more comfort, meaning you're not going to get snookered if you follow 2 rails off the 2.
Well, how about if he just goes cross table and plays a nice safety behind the 4 with the cue ball, sending the 3 to the side rail and totally lock him up?
Well, he may do that, but I think he's going to try to get in a position to make an offensive decision first. I do. I mean, that's just how these guys think. They really, I mean, it has to be really bad for them to think they can't create something offensively.
Yeah, but also, it's okay to do that, but if you
Of
put,
course, yeah.
if you put
play
yourself
safe if you get bad, right?
No, if you put yourself in an offensive position, is there a guarantee that if you happen to pocket the ball, you're going to come up with a shot?
I
That's
know.
the situation here. He can play the combination, but he doesn't have to come up with a shot.
Well, here's that safety you were talking
Yeah,
about.
that's the shot I'm referring to. Now put him behind the 4 here. Send that 3 to the cushion. Put him behind the 4. You know what's happening here.
Yeah, he was trying to get over a bit more to make it a hair more natural. Now I think he just barely puts the 3 past the 5, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to carry him into the 4 and behind the 5.
Right.
Now, how can you ask for anything better than that?
No.
I don't think so. So why gamble with a combination you really don't know what's going to happen in the future?
No, I get it. It just usually takes something like this, maybe. Maybe this is what I meant. It takes something very good or something very bad for them not to pursue the offense, meaning he had a guaranteed lock-up safety here, so it totally makes sense.
Go ahead now.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was pretty.
Yeah, and getting back to it is they don't want to play a mild safety and have these guys kick out of it. But that safety right there, you saw what Mika had to do, and what a fine job he did.
Yeah. And if that's what he needs to do to get out of my trap, just let him do it again.
Right.
Okay? I can't help that. Just let him do it again.
Tricky little shot here. Not only is he thin, but great route for the cue ball. Is he just using some speed to come right past the 7 here? Or is he coming 2 rails?
Yeah, he's got a lot of interfering balls with the 6 and the 9 here. He's running into the 7.
He's going to be all right.
He's going to be okay. Kinda, because he's still got to come with a combination. But, excuse me, the 4's in front of the pocket. I had the balls reversed there.
I just go into the 7 here with the cue ball, huh? Play
Yeah,
a 5
absolutely.
up long.
That's what Buddy Hall's always said. If you have position, no need to play it.
That's right. And this one here, a lot of people say, well, don't run into balls. This makes perfect sense.
Yeah, well, most of the time.
A little thinner than he probably wanted. I mean, maybe not. He gets to come out for the 6 in the lower left-hand corner now, but
And
hair more of a missable ball.
and plus the 7's going to hamper him in somewhat here. Watch. No, it hasn't. He's going to go on top of the 6.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think Mika's going to get the help he needs from ALBIN Ocean.
Look how slowly he walks. He's not in a hurry.
Yeah, well, that relates to that smooth stroke, I think. That's, I always used to see the guys that race around the table. Usually the stroke kind of matched up.
Oh, he's going up, huh? Going upstairs or going around the 9.
Yeah, absolutely, at a low angle.
Nice speed.
He got a little funny here.
So what? No, he's not.
Well, he's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying if he draws it, he could hold it there. If he doesn't really want to slam it, I don't think.
Yeah, he's on that angle where you really don't want to slam it.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to really get that much movement anyways.
Exactly.
And I think you're better off soft drawing it here.
Yeah, and watch out for the side.
A little soft draw.
Yeah. Maybe just hold it.
Now you don't want to go quite to the side. The soft draw you only need about 6-7 inches.
Yeah, just
hold it. That'd be okay.
That way you're not flirting. He's playing so good. No reason to take a chance.
He trusts his ball pocketing skills so much. on particular on certain shots like that one there, that's where he's going to opt to use his ball pocketing skill because he'd rather pocket this ball than run the risk of missing the 8.
Yeah, work a little harder on the 9, right?
Right. He knows what he's going to get on the 9.
Yeah, 9
and
to
so
3.
if he's happy with that, no need to challenge the shot on the 8.
Yeah, now Mika will break in the next. Really, I mean, I'm not sure what the ball's pocketed stat is. We'll get that, I'm sure, and you can always look it up, but it's got to be something very one-sided for that. 77 to 29
Wow.
on balls pocketed, which Mark Wilson always says that's the one that really shows you what the match was about.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And to pocket 77 balls and shoot a TPA above 950, 960.
963.
Ooh, my.
I didn't hear one down.
He's a bad man.
Yeah, I didn't hear one down. So now Albin will come to the table. He's got a cuttable 1 ball stretched over the table, though. He won't start all of a sudden just firing at a bunch of balls that he doesn't like just because it's 9 to 3. Now, he is an aggressive player. And like I said, really awesome with the cue ball. Makes sense most everything he does, really everything. But he is one shot maker also.
Most things he does.
Well, none of us are perfect. Right?
No.
I think he's going for the cut. And he likes the alley up and down the table to get on the 2. So, like I said, he stays very aggressive. And the one thing about this, you come away with a lot of these cuts after the break, don't you, Billy? So you get a little more used to them, right? Having to take them on.
I think he's going to go toward the 2 here, too, by the way.
Maybe. He puts English.
Oh, no, he's going in the center like you suggested.
Center made sense. But
Well, that's just too accurate to do for me. I can't do that accurate stuff like that.
yeah, right. Well, maybe not these days, but ALBIN Ocean certainly can. And he's gotten a little funny cueing, so key to this one is just don't let up on it. Go ahead and broaden the angle a little bit with some draw. He's not cueing very low, so. Oh, he had it nice.
Oh, it's so nice. Really. He makes things look so easy, and we know they're not easy. But from the
Funny
strokes
little
that he
shot
uses,
here. Right, Billy? And the 9, the 4 doesn't pass the 5. Does he go by the 9 very easily? Or does he just stay above the 9?
I don't know, he's going to hit it soft. He may even go into the 9, possibly. Went on top. This is really a great performance he's putting on here. Really great. I'm talking about all the way from the break to his kicking, to his safety play, and to, obviously, his ball running ability.
Been mainly clearing tables. There's been just a couple of safeties, and there's only been a few kicks from Albin. It's mainly getting control and running out. 2 rails to the center here. And he's just had the speed. I mean, 90% of shots been dead on, and the other 10%'s just been a hair off.
He reminds me, certainly doesn't remind me of this, but he just looks like he's a machine out there.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't recall. Uh-oh, he's going to get a little funny here. Maybe no. Kind of straightish. Maybe plays short side. He might be able to get to the rail.
I think he bounces off and plays the
Can he
7
get to
in
the
the
side
same
rail?
pocket. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he plays in the 7 in the same pocket.
Well, when you get out in the center with the object ball, that angle becomes a little bit of a fooler. Like you don't have as much to move the ball. He moved it nice there, and he's in full control. But what I was going to get at is I don't recall the major title on U.S. soil for Albin. So, no, that's something he wants to accomplish, that's for sure.
If this match is any indication how he's going to play going forward, you may see a first in.
Well, he's going to clear here, and we're going to lose Mika Immonen. Hats off to him. He played a great tournament.
Sure did.
Played a great 10-ball tournament. You know, that last match, he got a little fatigued, but he's kind of on his way back, you might say. And just to let you know about a match tomorrow, ALBIN Ocean with this 9 is going to go on to play SVB, Shane Van Boening in the semis.
Yeah.
Don't miss that one, right?
Don't miss that one. It's right, but I kind of feel that this guy right here is going to be the one that's going to hoist that trophy up when it's all said and done.
Well, everyone likes their player. It's hard not to like ALBIN Ocean with that performance there. We'll see what SVB says about it tomorrow. Thanks for keeping tuned in. I believe we start at 4 o'clock for the pros tomorrow. It's the International brought to you by Pat Fleming and Accu-Stats. I'm Jeremy Jones, and for Billy and Incardona, thanks again and good night.